Boom, I got you. Did I scare you? I hope not. Well, today we're going to talk about the tech trap. And I mean this quite literally. I think my friend Brian has something else to share, but we're going to talk about the traps in technology because there are some. Some people overthink technology and they get in the rabbit hole trap of all the different technological stuff and they need help getting out of it. And Brian, by the way, does some technical writing and he can kind of help you get out of it if you need to get your way linguistically out of a rabbit hole. Let's go get Brian. Where is he?
Hey, Brad.
Good morning. How are you?
Top of the morning. I'm good. How about you?
When is the top of the morning?
I don't know. It's early.
That's just something that Irish people say, you know. Irish, they wear the green.
Yes.
It's in March, though, isn't it? Irish.
Top of the morning.
Well, there you go. You get a little Irish hat.
Yeah. So, we've talked about artificial intelligence before. Now, the tech trap is almost a bioscience trap.
Mm-hmm.
How far do we go with our experimentation? How much do we do? They spent a lot of time, researchers spent a lot of time on a project that determined that the world's first robot can now reproduce. It's called a xenobot. And,
it makes itself?
It can, they work together, they move, and they actually have a capability of self-healing. It's amazing. And it started in 2020 when scientists, used the stem cell of Xenopus laevis, which is an African clawed frog. And they scraped stem cells from the frog embryo and let them incubate. So, there's always been concern ethically from some religious groups, such as Catholic. I'm Catholic, so about stem cell research, but there's no manipulation of genes with this. It's just it incubated as an embryo, and with the help of AI, artificial intelligence, they tested billions. I mean, they must have spent a lot of time on this. They tested billions of body shapes to make a xenobot even more effective than it was. So what do you think of that, Brad?
Well, I go back and forth on it because it is a miraculous technology, but the idea of it being able to replicate itself, and with artificial intelligence, we talked about that, about the self-driving car. If it's intelligent, it has to make decisions. And sometimes it may exchange one life for 5 because 5 is more valuable. And if you're the driver of the one life, so I go back and forth on it with that kind of thing, because I did see some other stuff where they're actually making robotic kelp. And what it is it flows in the ocean and it generates electricity as it's flowing. So technology is an interesting thing. I got a love-hate relationship with it. Sometimes I go down that technological rabbit hole and can't get out for hours and trying to fix things that are broken and try and figure out where they're broken. But the idea of something being able to replicate itself, especially robotic, because as an example, when I Skype to somebody on the other side of the planet, I swear that it's there immediately. So that's how fast stuff's going. If a robot can start duplicating itself, it can do it very, 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 very fast. Pretty soon there won't be any room on the planet.
It's part of the trap. I mean, these scientists, how much time does it take to test billions of body shapes? Wow, you got to be kind of crazy. I mean, and then after all this testing, the supercomputer came up with a C shape, like a Pac-Man thing, and that Pac-Man shaped thing actually had like a mouth, and it found somehow they got it to get stem cells in a petri dish. The mouth gathered up like 100 of them, and They let it sit for a few days, and the bundle of cells became new Xenobots. It was just amazing.
It's so weird. I mean,
Pac-Man developing robots.
you see this stuff on sci-fi type stuff, like with the Star Trek, and the guy could just heal people up with that little machine. Instead of stitches, they just weld it back together with plasma or something.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty weird stuff. I mean, all this, there's so many different things that are happening with these robots and this leveraging of technology. People are not aware of all the stuff that's in the works and is actually real right now. That's really happening, But where some of this came from, it actually came from my mind when it was working this morning when I thought of a technology trap. What I was actually thinking about, because I saw somebody on Nextdoor where people post their stuff about the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Somebody had their little ring
app
thing taking a picture, and some kid walks up and stole their little snowman Christmas decoration and ran away with it. So there's technology that's catching people in the act. And I thought, can we trap them? So could you put in like a proximity switch, a motion detector, and I don't know if it's legal or not, but put a little net and catch them in the act?
Drop it from the roof. Yeah,
Yeah,
like Spider-Man.
Or just I've seen people do things with a noose around your hand when they reach inside of a box or something. And, if I leave my, let's say it's the middle of summer and I got my Corvette out, not that I have a Corvette, but the top is down, convertible Corvette, and it's parked on the side of the street, and I've got my briefcase and my iPhone in there and a bundle of hundreds, and the briefcase door is open. Can I leave that car sit there on the sidewalk or on the side of the street as long as there's no parking signs are there? It's legally parked. It's my car. Can I leave it there and be safe?
Right.
I should be. I think
the world, definitely the world is less and less private. I mean,
but it comes down to morals and ethics. If someone walks by, granted, they may be tempted by that money and that phone and all that stuff within arm's reach.
right.
But are they correct in stealing it if they did? And if they attempted it, could I trap them with technology?
I think not to get too much into the ethical part of it, but I think they should ask people, how far do you want this robot to go? I mean, working together, moving, self-healing. Is it going to make our trips to the grocery store? How much is this robot going to be able to do, considering it came from the life of a frog? Will it be amphibious?
Well, you got something going on there, the whole replication element of it.
Yeah, how far do we want that to go? I say we set a limit, keep humans human, and keep a robot a piece of tin.
Yeah, but if you're creating something that can replicate itself, who are you to say stop? Seeing it's doing it now, if it's doing it with artificial intelligence, would you program it to say, we're going to limit this to 1,000 replications and then it dies?
Not replications.
Duplication?
Capabilities. Don't give it too many capabilities. Don't program it. Don't overly program it to the point where it's miles ahead of humans. Sure, we want advancements, and we want it to possibly do more than we can, but I say you got to set a limit. I don't know.
Well, that's the challenge in everything is, where do you set that limit? Because it's going to be different tolerance levels for different people.
Right. Yeah.
Who's gonna set that limit?
Right.
The law, or the people, or the government, or the robot? Like I said, if it's artificial intelligence and all of a sudden it can start replicating itself the way that it wants to do it, maybe it'll say, you know what, you didn't notice, but I changed the law. Like, do you remember that? There was a movie that a guy had developed a robot to work for him, and then he was at work, and the robot ordered things from it had access to his bank account. So it ordered a contractor to come in and put up a camera rail system and a bunch of technology. It hired this company to come in and do all this stuff because this robot thought I thought it would be nice for you. because it could.
Wow.
So how does the robot know that you just got done tapping your bank account and just bought a new car or something, and the robot starts saying, well, we got an extra card, we'll just use that.
Exactly.
It could get crazy.
And I think they can maybe even help with fraud detection too, and serve a really good purpose. Yeah, there's so much fraud.
You saw the movie Minority Report, yes? Tom Cruise?
Yes. A while ago. Yep.
He was guilty because they predicted it.
Yep.
But who can predict the future,
And I met a young man in a school who's named Neo, and he says, I was named after the Matrix. My dad liked it so much he named me Neo, so he's Neo.
Okay.
Really?
Responsibility.
This kind of thing happens in the world. They name their kid after a movie. But hey, it's inspiration.
I know. So that's where I go back and forth with technology. I like it, but as a marketer, you can get caught up in it, and you set something all up that's on automation, and then all of a sudden it's doing its own thing, and you're not really monitoring, understanding what might have been happening. An example is a guy that had a Twitter account. He was an author. I might have told you this story, I'm not sure. But he had a Twitter account. He was an author. He had a fan that loved what he was doing, was really a big fan. So the author had his stuff on autopilot, doing its thing. He decided to go on vacation. His fan started interacting with the automation, but it wasn't answering. So it made the fan very angry that you're not talking to me, you stood me up. Now the fan is no longer a fan. He's actually mad at the guy.
Well, that can be corrected with a simple phone call or a message, but
maybe, unless that guy's really, really mad. But people do that. They misinterpret texts and things because they don't have that human element to it. It's just a digital, hey, what's up? What does that mean? I mean, what's up? What?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So I think you still have to have the human element in technology and stuff. I think it still needs it. Otherwise, you might as well just grab a ticket from Elon Musk and move to a different planet and let the robots take over.
Oh, that was a great video you shared with me on Elon Musk recently, Brad. That was just unbelievable. What did he say? It can think a zillion times faster than a human, or it can process a zillion things at once. And just amazing to think of what's going to happen with speed and technology.
Well, it's going the speed of light.
Yeah.
And that's, light is basically, us seeing at each other now. Everything you see is basically light bouncing off of your retinas and stuff, so you can see something. It's possibly not really there.
What's really cool too is seeing a jet go faster than the speed of sound.
I remember back in the days when sonic booms were around, and they don't do that anymore for some reason.
I do too. Yep.
Yeah, so what happens when they go faster than the speed of light?
Sonic glow? I don't know.
They disappear, I suppose. They get ahead of themselves.
Yeah.
Into like a wormhole or something. So you're going to show us your hat? I saw your little green elf hat.
Oh. This will tell everybody this video is during holiday time.
Oh, see what you did. I thought it was an elf, but it's not.
Green Bay, a team to remember and support.
You need to remember them and support them. Why? Are they on welfare?
And it's holiday time.
Holly dazzle.
No, they're just fun to support because they're going to be a successful team this year. But anyway,
I think it's cool that they are owned by the fans. I think that's a pretty smart thing. I think that's cool.
Smallest organization in football and one of the strongest, owned by the city and the fans, and really a nonprofit actually, and just amazing. Smallest town, basically a paper mill town, and thriving in the NFL. Just an amazing story. So, but if you buy stock, I don't know. You're just giving the team money. If you want to do that, you certainly can. They had their 6th stock offering recently. Has no value on any market. So, but it's the sentimental value of the stock.
Do they got the pack coin yet in crypto?
Hey, that's a good idea.
That's another thing that's pretty interesting. The EFTs.
Yeah.
NFTs, non-fungible tokens. NFT, where they can personalize graphic images. People are doing that now. A lot of artists are creating their products as an NFT, and now there's only one of a kind. Rather than be able to duplicate a photograph, you can't. It's locked into the blockchain somehow.
Wow. Speaking of cryptocurrency, I was going to make an investment the other day. So I was going to draw a little cash advance to make the investment and then pay it off shortly afterwards. But I hadn't used my card in several years. I didn't need it. What do I do when I get to the bank? They deny me. Now, it wasn't my bank, but I had my credit card I was going to get a cash advance from.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you've been denied. I know my PIN. I'm current. Great credit score. Call them up. What are you doing? I needed a cash advance. I'm under a deadline. I called Friday to say my card was expired. I couldn't do it at the bank. You overnighted me a new card. It's not expired anymore because, I never use it, so I let it get expired. Get a new card. Go to the bank. Get that money out. Make the investment. Denied. You know why? A fraud alert. Well, because I hadn't used it in a long time. This must be fraud.
Sure.
Well, you know what? I called you on Friday to say I need a new card quickly. I'm getting a cash advance, but it's expired. Oh, we can overnight you a new credit card. Great. So it comes Saturday, one day later. Excellent service. Well, when I bring it in Monday to do the advance, you're denied. Fraud. So you set up a robot that takes the fraud alert off, or some kind of API that would take that fraud alert off, because I called Friday saying I need to get a cash advance. That would tip you off to the fact that I'm going to do it soon. Take off any fraud alert and don't make my life miserable. I went to 2 or 3 banks trying to meet this deadline for an investment, and they're trying to be all secure and safe against fraud, which I appreciate, but they made my life hell.
Well, what's kind of interesting about that is it was probably some kind of robotic thing that put the fraud alert on it because they thought it was fraud. And now you're saying to create a robot that takes the fraud off of it. And now I can see you sitting in the sidelines and these 2 robots doing rock'em sock'em robots fighting because, no, I said it should be functional. No, I should say it stops. And they'd have a robot fight.
I guess, yeah, there's a slight chance that a fraudulent hacker could get in before I was able to get to the bank Monday.
Well, they're better at hacking than you are.
Right. They're pros. Maybe that's why they didn't pull the fraud alert off. But anyway, you can scan call notes, or you can make your system even better. So I gave that as a suggestion to the credit card company. Anyway, just a little tidbit for you. I was kind of mad, but because they authenticated me on the phone. That was me. That wasn't fraud. And I said, I need a new card. I tried this and it was expired. I'm under a deadline for Tuesday. Can you get this done? Cryptocurrency, I'm under a big bonus. Only in December. It had to be done in the first 7 days of the month. And my own company denied me. So I had to really give them some heat. But I think next time it won't happen.
Well, that might have been, maybe the trigger was you're going to a different bank that wasn't that bank, so it triggered it. So, one bank says, no, this is our money, and the other one said, no, this is our money, and they had a little money fight. And that's what's going to happen when you try and cash in your Bitcoin for your Dogecoin, for your Ethereum, for your Starbucks gift card.
So there's a limit of $500. And I said, well, I need more than that. Then, well, you can do more than an ATM limit of $500 by going inside. So I went inside this small bank. They said, nope. And we're sick of this Discover card telling people that they can come inside. You can't come inside. So I go to another bank. Oh, you know what? This card is expired. We can't do this.
That's what's the funny thing about money these days. It's getting very strange.
But I said I'm responsible and never use the card. That's why it's expired. Anyway.
Well, they want you to use the card, so they'll punish you for it because when you use the card, they earn a little.
Right.
So I get
So
it.
that's my little
20 minutes here, bud. I didn't realize it was going so fast, but holy smokes. So any parting words before we dismantle?
Beware of frogs and how they can change your life.
That's right. Don't fall in the tech trap. It's very possible. I mean, again, I like watching those things about the new stuff that's happening in technology and keeping my finger on the pulse of the stuff that's happening. But again, I do have the love-hate relationship with technology.
If you don't like dogs, become a dog dad. Or if you don't like frogs, become a dog dad.
There you go.
That's my parting shot.
Did you hear about the agnostic dyslexic that didn't think there was a dog?
Nice one.
I'm putting you in the green room, dude. We'll talk to you later. Take care. Well, there you have it. That tech trap. Dun, 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 dun. Don't get caught in it. Give some thought. I just saw next door somebody had got a call from somebody to renew their AT&T, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't the right it wasn't a real person. They tried to say, oh, you can just put it on a different, use a Best Buy cash card or something. And careful for all that stuff, folks. It's dangerous. They could drain your account just like that. Peace, love, and happiness. MagicBrad signing off. See you later.